Hey there. I just finished a private session a short time ago, and there was a conversation I had with my client that I thought I would share with you, particularly if you're an intuitive type of yoga teacher and you've seen what I'm about to say, but you didn't necessarily know how to articulate it or really what was actually going on. So this is a short little clip to explore the concept. I'm not going to get into all of it, obviously, on this short little live video, but I want to put some dots together for you, particularly if you're the intuitive type of practitioner, okay? So we've seen that when you use the ball on your hip, that lots of things can start to happen, right? People use it as a massage technique, they can use it as an awareness technique, but for a lot of people, there's a lot of yummy stuff inside of, like, as a result that can happen from moving around the ball on the hip. Sometimes people will just kind of focus in on where's just the easiest place to roll, which is a great way to start doing this. But what becomes really interesting is when you start to shift where your leg bone is actually in position. So if I bring out my mini little skeleton here, what you'll see here is that if I have this guy sitting, like I just was, just sitting, and I put the ball in through around here, then we're going to be able to get into a bunch of tissue in that area. Now, if, this is going to be awkward with this skeleton, so just bear with me. If I now rotate the femur head and place the ankle on the knee, now that femur head is in a different position in the acetabulum, right? Because instead of just being in flexion, I'm now in rotation and flexion. Yeah, does that make sense? So now I've got a bit more tissue that's, I would call it exposed. That might not be exactly the right word, but there's a different orientation of the head and of the femur in the socket, so you're able to get into other areas of your hip. So let's take a closer look at this, right? Because you're probably sensing this already of like, well, yeah, duh, but you maybe didn't actually say, oh, yes, that's what's happening, right? So if we're here, I've got the ball there, and I can just be here. And so here's this orientation. Now, if I lift it higher, the orientation is different. If I rotate it, the orientation is different. So you might now start to feel how this ball is working in a slightly different way. So now if I start to rotate with the leg bone in this orientation, now it's feeling a little bit different, right? Because we're accessing different areas of that hip because of the orientation of that leg bone in the hip socket, all right? So if that is something that's kind of curious, when you're doing like anything with a tool, like a massage tool or anything else like that, and you're playing around with where you're putting your body parts, just consider where you put that body part is going to have an impact on what tissue that you can access. All right, so enjoy that one. I hope that is helpful, and you'll find me back another time giving you another little tip, especially for the intuitive yoga teacher. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.